Yo, what's good, everybody? It's your boy 005 Dynasty. I'm back with another video. And, we're talking about the sample game and stuff like that. It's a pretty cool topic. I like to converse with you guys and girls. And I like the people who come to my channel and they're very respectful and they allow for the open dialogue. I think it's needed, actually. I think it's actually amazing where, two sides of the spectrum can come together and talk. So we got an awesome comment here. The individual um, left a comment not too long ago, and they said, I want to be in a simple. I'm sorry, I want to be in a sample and produce a cult. It feels so awkward talking to people that make original stuff to play. They don't see the beauty in front of sampling and chopping of loops. So I thought that was an amazing comment because I did a video and I said I don't wanna be in a cult. Like, I don't want to be like a cult leader. So I say hip hop sampler producers like they're in a cult. You know what I'm saying? And why you shouldn't be a part of it. And so basically that was his answer to me. You know what I'm saying? And when I see a cult, like they really they really dive like head first into and pause, but head first into whatever they're doing, and they defend it and they fight for their leader or whatever the cause it is. And my whole perspective on that was like, I don't want to be like a cult leader if, like, let's say my style of music was to take off and people wanted to do my style of music. I don't want to have people defending and like trying to defend the style if people want to disrespect it or like feel like they have to defend the style. And I also don't want people to follow me because I believe people should be their own leader. I think people should lead their own path and walk their own way and try to create their own style, own genres. And it's hard to create a genre. It's very hard. I know that. But just at least try, you know what I mean? And then just go down your road. But I get what he's saying though. And this is what I want to tell people. Like, I get what you guys are saying in your comments. I get it. I understand. And I'm not trying to like negate anything that's coming out of your heart. You know what I mean? I'm not that type of person. But I do feel like people are they're hearing me, but they don't want to fully, embrace what I'm saying. And I think that's why we're clashing. Well, most people are clashing with me. So, but I like what he said though, because there is an individual that I talk to on the regular, and I'm talking about we build so much about music production. We talk about instrumentation. We talk about the circle of fifths. We talk about mixing. We talk about what gear to buy. Which, you know what I'm saying, what is going to give us the best sound. You know, we just and he's developing his style. He's developing his style, which is it's just crazy. I mean, I really, really enjoyed listening to his music. Like, he sent me a lot of snippets, and they're snippets, but I play his snippets like they're full songs because of what he has done with them, and they're not even fully mixed. But he has gotten to the point where playing his keyboards and going through like the first stages, it sounds good, and now he's getting to the point where he's about to send it through all his analog gear and stuff like that he purchased. I can't wait to hear those final mixes. You know what I mean? So we build and we talk. So I get what he's saying when this gentleman is saying it's like, I want to be in a sample and produce a cult. But he basically said he wants to be around like-minded people, and they could build and be great together, like help each other, like push each other forward. And that's awesome. I would never take that away for you. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you're doing it in that manner where you just really just stick it together and helping each other and brainstorming. And he says it feels so awkward talking to people who create original. Now, I'm on the other hand, I have my feet in both sampling and original. So I do like sampling, right? Like that's how I started making beats. Like I liked sampling back then, but and there's always a but, right? I came to a point where it was like I want to be able to create this on my own. Like I need to be able to create whatever I sampled and how I flipped it. I need to be able to create that out of my mind, body, and soul, like my heart. I need to be able to do that, and that's one of the reasons why I went towards trying to create original. And when I started playing the keys, right? And I'm not good at it. I'm just starting out, so please bear with me, guys and girls. But when I started to play the keys, and I did like one chord progression, it was amazing to me. It was mind blowing. Like it blew my. I'm saying like pause, but it made me feel so good. I was like, I was here, and I called my boy. I said, "Yo, I just did it, man. I played the chord progression, man. I played the chord progression." And he started laughing at me. He was like, "See," he said, "This now you keep at it." Cause he was practicing the piano for like over a year, and I was the one saying, "Oh, I'm gonna do it." I was hesitating, like I didn't really dive into it. I kept telling him I'm going to do it, and eventually I said, I said, man, I gotta get on the road. I gotta do it. So I cleared out some space in my studio, and I bought a keyboard stand, like a professional one. And then when I bought the keyboard stand, it allowed me to put my keyboard up and never take it down and put it in the corner or put it in the closet anymore. So now it's always over here and it's always on. So as I sit down, I just turn to my right and I just start hitting the keys. So now it's just it's a part of my daily routine now. But when I started to hit those keys and I started to hear those tones that I would hear in songs I wanted to sample, I was like, wow, man! Like I'm starting to feel like a real musician. Not trying to take anything away from sample based producers. I'm not. I'm just telling you from my perspective of how how this whole thing evolved for me from making the transition from sampling to trying to create original, but make that stuff make my original stuff sound like what I want to sample and what I would have done to the sample. So I did that beat on my channel when I flipped Maxwell, this woman's that whatever the song was. So I flipped it, right, and it sounds very very angelic. The vocals sound crazy in it, but the melody sounds crazy. When I go back and I listen to how I flipped it and I listen to the melody, I'm like, okay, this sounds like this on the left speaker. This sounds like this on the right speaker. I'm listening to it, and I'm like, I want to be able to make something angelic like that without even having to speed up the sample. You know what I'm saying? So I need to learn myself, how can I play on my keyboard and what type of string sound should I be using to to get that type of sound, that type of angelic sound, and what type of effects do I need to put on my strings or on my pianos to get that type of sound. I want to be able to master sound from scratch. And I can say it coming out of my mind, coming out of my heart, I can do it. Let's say if I go to a big studio in the city and they be like, "Yo, can you make something like this?" And I say, "Yeah," because I took the time to understand tones and frequencies and effects and how the effects can make a big difference in the timbre and how something like the tonal sound of everything, and just be able to play. Like I want to be able to play the chords and know which chord to go to, like the one chord, the three chord, then maybe the six chord. Like, and what are those chords? Is that like, so, I don't know, like E minor or like C major or like G major? You know what I'm saying? Or G minor. I want to know that and be able to play it instantly, like spontaneously, like boom on the spot, instead of be like, oh, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, or like, yeah. So that's the whole thing, man. But I do like this comment, and I'll read it again. I want to be in a sample and produce a cult. It feels so awkward talking to people that make original stuff to play. They don't see the beauty in front of sampling and chopping up loops. And I said, I see the beauty in it, but I want to be able to make that same sound without the help of the samples. And that's the truth. That's the honest truth, man. I want to be able to make that same sound. So when I think about music from like the 50s, like the doo wop era, right? Like doo wop, like that doo wop era is fire. So like the 50s, the 60s, and the 70s, right? Well, when I think about it, I'm like, without even listening to the music, like sitting here right here in my studio, right? I'm like, first thing I'm thinking about is the tempo. The tempo was different back then. So what tempos were they playing at? Were they playing at 80 beats per minute? Or were they playing at like 75 beats per minute? Or were they playing at 60 beats per minute? So if they're playing a piano at 60 beats per minute, it's going to have such a different like characteristic to it. You understand what I'm saying? So as I'm sitting here in the studio, I'll start playing the piano and I'll slow down the BPMs and I'll see how it sounds. You get what I'm saying? And I'm listening to the tones. I'm like, all right, boom. I got the tone. I kind of got like that 60s vibe or 50 vibe, but it don't sound as dirty or grungy or have like that grit or texture. There's something off with like the fidelity of it, like the sonics of it, right? So I start thinking to myself like, well, how can I get that? And I start thinking about the gear, the gear that I might have in front of me, or gear I might need to purchase to send those sounds through that gear, so it could replicate that type of sound quality of the era, and where and because that's how those people were making. They were making that music through certain types of pieces of gear to get that sound quality. How could I replicate that? Not and I mean like, I'm not trying to steal like their sounds or anything like that, or like their riffs or melodies. None of that. So I'm not trying to take nothing from them. I'm just trying to get to that movie scene. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you watch like the movie, like what's the movie with the vampires, man? With Bella. Uh, oh man, what is? I can't think of it right now, man. But and they was in the place they were at was Forks, right? It was like always like gray. The skies are always gray because when the sunlight hits them, they start shining. I almost like man, Twilight, right? I think it's called Twilight. Is that what it's called? All right. So when I watch that movie and I listen to like the music in there, you hear like the texture and like the ambience of that setting. So that's the same thing like the setting of your music. It's like the time that it was created, the era, like things, what was going on, technology and stuff like that. So, as right now, if I want to make a track that's really really dope, like I want to speed it up and like, you know, change the pitch of it, and go up a couple of semitones and stuff like that, and add like a female vocal or maybe a male vocal. But when you speed it up, it has like that chipmunk voice or whatever. First, I want to get the organs and all that stuff. I want to get that at a certain tempo. I want to dirty it up, get it in that setting, and then, you know what I'm saying? So I understand the beauty. I understand the beauty of going and finding a record from a certain era and chopping and speeding stuff up, or slowing it down and flipping it backwards and chopping it and doing all these different chops, and finding drums that are very very dirty but they have high fidelity and they hit hard, and snares and all that stuff. I understand that, but I want to do it myself, man. I want to be able to create it myself without the help of going and digging for it. And so a lot of people's mindset is like, oh, it's like hide and seek. They want to go find it. My mindset is I want to create it. Like, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, man. Anyway, dope comment, and I appreciate the comment. It allows me to open up and converse with you guys and you girls, and we can just move forward and just what I'm saying? Be peaceful and have fun with this, man. You know what I'm saying? It's your boy 005 Dynasty. I'm tired, man. I gotta go to get some sleep. I'm gonna finish my cup of tea, watch me something on online really quick, maybe for like an hour. Then I'm gonna knock out, man. Get ready for the next day and continue on this musical journey. This your boy 005 Dynasty. And if you get a chance, man, go and Google me. And check out my other socials. I'm on Instagram and all that stuff, guys and girls. Don't be shy. Come over and say what up. Come holler at your boy. All right, peace out.